A very good morning to all my friends. Let's begin the Hindu analysis for 19th of September 2020. So let's start our story with the thought of the day, the first section of the day, which is from Albert Einstein, who says that if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. He often used to say that the poor people or the people who are mentally poor, that those whose thoughts are poor, they talk about people. Okay, they talk about people, but those who are kind of mentally rich, those who have thoughts, they talk about ideas. So it is about those people who become successful, right? So the thing is that if you want to live a happy life, you must have a goal in life, and that goal should come from within you. Okay, and this will lead to your ideas to flourish, to get flourished, and this would amount you to give something to the world. This can make you capable to give something to the world, rather than being a passive element. Moving ahead, friend, let's begin our today's story with the very first topic of the day, which is about media should not target the minorities, says Supreme Court. So this all news is about the Sudarshan TV show, show, which is being aired with the name Bindas Bowl, and recently the Supreme Court banned this airing of this TV show, saying that it is against the minorities. Yes, to some extent, yes, it is against the minorities. But there are two things in this very show. The first one is the point of Supreme Court, which says that the right to freedom cannot be used to criticize or threaten minorities. Okay, it cannot be used to criticize or threaten the minorities. So this is the point of view of Supreme Court. Okay. While on the other hand, is this Bindas Bowl, and the point here is put by the senior advocate Mr. Shyam Diwan. So Mr. Diwan has a point, and he says that the article, the very show, is being the fact-based. It is a fact-based show, friend, and in this fact-based show, they have shown that this Jakat Foundation is there, Jakat Foundation, and it is alleged that the funding of this Jakat Foundation is not proper. Okay, the funding of this Jakat Foundation by the Muslim community members has various apprehensions. So the thing is that and this Jakat Foundation is funding the UPSC coaching centers for facilitating the infiltration of people with terror links in UPSC. Okay, so the show is all about the claims that the Muslim community members are attempting to infiltrate the civil services in India, and they are those who are entering have this terror links and funded by this Jakat Foundation, which itself has very kind of mystic funding arrangements. Okay, so the whole thing is all about this investigation done by this Sudarshan TV anchors, and then they are providing kind of information. But what the Supreme Court says that this right to freedom provided to journalism, the journalist against the right of minority. The point of Supreme Court is very apt, very appropriate. But the point raised, right? So proper investigation authority should go saying or seeking the direction from the government to supply this digital equipments or digital devices, so that the students from this the EWS and backward disadvantaged groups, can get their right to education. Under right to education 2009, this EWS and DG group has been provided 25% seats in the private schools, and they are also there in this government school. So this petition by Justice for All is seeking the equal right for education to all those backward or the left behind students, so that those poor students can have this education, right? They can get the access to education, especially this online education in this COVID-19 pandemic. Because we all know that this COVID-19 pandemic has generated or induced a digital divide. This digital divide, friend, is increasing day by day, because those who can access the devices, they are able to get the education, while there are a group of have-nots which they are not able to get it today, and even it is possible that they will not develop their potential to grasp the opportunities tomorrow. The court has said that such kind of divides, they generate a feeling of inferiority in as per their status in the class, that may affect the heart and mind, unlikely to be ever undone. So such kind of things, the divide, they create kind of stigma. They leave a mark on the mind of little children, and this may even lead to tendency of children to increase the dropout rate. This may even increase the dropout rate. So this High Court has very well said that the schools are required to provide children with this. They are required to provide the devices. They are procure the digital devices to be given to students from this EWS and DG category, so that this digital divide could be fulfilled, right? So that this widening gap could be narrowed. So the thing is that the schools are required to procure these devices and provide them for free to EWS and DG category students, so that they can avail the education. And for private school, the 25% is the group, okay, this EWS DG. So this under Right to Education Act 2009, this provision has been provided that 25% EWS DG students should be there in every private school. So what these private schools have to do, they have to procure these devices and they have to provide a level playing field, right, to end this discrimination and this vertical division being created by this digital apartheid. So they will procure these devices, would provide and then later they can claim reimbursement at a reasonable cost for procurement of the gadget and internet of the RTE Act, violation of section 3(8) and 12(1)(c) of the farmers across the country. Commodities Act, which limits the hoarding, right, so that proper amount of distribution could be there, especially during this COVID-19 times, right? But it prevents farmer from storing their crop and selling it at right time. So this reduces the remuneration that farmer gets, right? Then second one, the second bill, actually these all these bills are related to this agriculture. While agriculture is actually a state subject. Agriculture is actually a state subject. So the states, the farmers, they are alleging that these bills, they are going to tinker with the state subject and may lead to a reduction or the end of MSP regime and corporatization or kind of privatization of agriculture sector. These are the two major allegations put forward by the protesters against the government, right? So the whole thing is all about the central government is trying to centralize the thing by allowing the private sectors, okay, like in recent bill in this farmer produce trade and commerce promotion and facilitative bill 2020. In this bill, it was actually an ordinance earlier in which the government allowed the various the farmers to go for unfettered commerce, right? Unfettered commerce, that is, they can sell their produce or can deal, can go under commerce or trade outside the APMCs, okay, and for this they even do not have to pay any fees to these APMC mandis, right? These mandis, they do not have to give any fees, so they can work outside the APMC jurisdiction without levy of any fee. So this actually empowers the central government to issue order to state in furtherance of law's objective. That means the central government is gaining more power in this scenario. And also one more law is there which is allowing for this contract farming. Contract farming act is there, contract farming bill is there. which is allowing private company to enter the domain of agriculture. All these three bills we have talked about is kind of providing a very liberalized regime, in the sector of agriculture. But these states and the farmers, the protesters, they argue that such kind of liberalized regime may not benefit the sector, it may not result into the desired investment in the sector. It may not result into the desired result in this sector. And the reason given being the example of Bihar, where Bihar removed this APMC system, but instead of gaining more investment, this liberalization led to losses to the fees revenue for APMC and also for the farmers. Right? So there was no improvement in significant investment in the sector in Bihar, despite liberalizing this APMC system. So, and also the small farmers, this NFC, National Farmers Commission, have said that there should be a mandi in every 80 square kilometer. Every 80 square kilometer, but there is this APMC system is for around 430. The average goes for 434 square kilometer. Okay, it is well below the recommendation of NCF. So this these steps taken by the government, like this allowing selling outside APMC, though it was welcome in this scenario, but in that Bihar scenario it goes out of the context, right? So this one is the pro of the decision taken under this Farmer Promotion Act bill, and this one is a con. So what the government actually need to do? So the experts here are of the opinion that rather than going for this liberalization or providing very liberal regime to private sector to enter while farmers are suffering losses. Okay, the thing is that central government should go for solutions, long-term solution that the agriculture sector demands. And what those long-term solutions are? The long-term solution is the expansion of APMC market, so that farmers can sell anywhere, right? That is that 80 square kilometer norm of NCF can get fulfilled. So the expansion of APMC market is one such need. Then breaking the cartel is also one such need, because APMCs have developed cartel, right? So the thing is, one is this APMC expansion, then removing the trade cartels. Yes, the cartel removal should be there. Okay, cartel removal. Then the third thing is providing farmers good roads under that Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. The good roads should be there so that the accessibility to good market could be increased for the farmers, so as to provide them better remuneration for their crops. And this farm to form linkage could be achieved in true manner, right? Then the next thing is providing logistics of scale and real-time information. Then the warehouse should be provided to farmers so that they can get timely compensation or timely remuneration there, and to prevent from distress selling, that is selling at low cost during high productivity season. So they need to be provided with warehouses and cold stores of better quality at proper distance, so that they can be prevented from distress selling, right? So these are several steps that are required, and also that real-time information of weather, etc., proper irrigation and this chemical fertilizer use information, so that the farmers can produce more, because productivity in India is at very low rate, and this has been cited well by this Niti Aayog in its India at 75 report. They have cited that India needs to improve its productivity, right? And which is one of the very major content of agriculture reform. Then the next thing we are going to talk about here is this the solution these could be provided, but in this entire solution thing, the state should be brought on board. They should be taken into confidence, because agriculture is a state subject, friend. So unless the states are not in confidence, they are not going to implement these reforms, right? So the state should be brought into the consideration, and also such kind of laissez-faire, the liberalized regime, the laissez-faire policy the central government trying to take without the support of farmers and state, this may lead to harm of this large unorganized small farmers agriculture sector, rather than giving them proper remuneration, as the central government is targeting to double the income of farmers by 2022. You all might know this, that government of India has been planning to double the farm income by 2022 to increase their remuneration. But such kind of liberalized regime which the central government is planning under these three new laws, this should be under proper institutional arrangement rather than going in haste. That was it, I think. Yes. And the next topic is, friend, about in this paper 3 you will come across this livestock. Okay, so for this livestock section, rearing of animal livestock, that's the topic in paper GS paper 3 in UPSC syllabus. So there you will come across these kind of topics. So recently I discussed day before yesterday about this Prevention of Cruelty Against Animal Act 1960. So that was about a plea signed by PETA to prevent the animal husbandry practices, or to regulate the animal husbandry practices in India. Today we are going to talk about one more plea that is being filed by one more NGO or organization, which is and this petition is saying that the artificial reproduction techniques being used, like this artificial insemination on the livestock and other animal, they are quite painful and quite unregulated, leading to infliction of pain on animals. So this petition says that the art permitted on livestock animal without any proven biomedical need was cruel, was illegal, and was malefic, and is also contrary to the principles of law. Okay, I told you about PCA. This is against the principles of this very law and other laws that are there for the protection of animal. This petition says that reproduction is a basic natural and biological need, and these kind of invasive techniques without even use of anesthesia, they can give very high pain and very high pain to animals, right? So the thing is that no authority can arbitrarily, this artificial, we are talking about artificial reproduction. So reproduction is a natural phenomena, and no authority can arbitrarily tamper or destroy the rights or needs of any living being, including the animals, by any policy or practice which is itself against the nature or natural principle. So this, you all might know, this rearing of chickens is there on very large scale. There are poultry farms working on it and providing them with antibiotics and other supplements so that they can grow at very fast rate. And these are being used, this processed chicken, the processed chicken is being used in almost every food corner. Like you might know about KFC and this McD, even they are using this processed chicken. And not only in India, it has been seen worldwide. It's kind of worldwide phenomena, this artificial reproduction techniques being used. But in India, this infliction of pain is being large, and the cruelty we are doing on animals is against the very principle of nature. So, and this is also violative of various acts in India, like Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, the Biological Diversity Act, and Environment Protection Act. So the Supreme Court, paying heed to this or paying attention to this petition, has asked under Chief Justice of India, Mr. Sharad A. Bobde, have issued notice to various organizations like the Government Animal Husbandry Department, Animal Welfare Board of India, and National Biodiversity Authority. They have issued notice to these organizations asking them to respond to the plea to ban the artificial reproduction technique. Okay, this petition is asking for ban on these art techniques. So they have issued a notice to Supreme Court asking them to respond to such plea. Okay, so we hope that there should be proper regulation in India by proper authorities so that such kind of pain of these livestock could be reduced. Okay, then the next topic we are going to talk about is bamboo, friend, and this is the tallest grass on earth. Okay, recently it was excluded from that forest policy, Okay, now bamboo is not a part of forest as per recent act or order by the government, which has provided that these in northeast this bamboo can be used for commercial purposes as well. So the thing is that bamboo is a very tall grass and also one of the cheapest immunity booster for human body, as has been found by various experts. The main thing today is that the World Bamboo Day was celebrated yesterday on 18th of September. Okay, and the main focus this time was on the nutraceutical properties. As per the experts who are involved in this, they say that this bamboo has 17 amino acids, 8 of which are very essential for human. And these shoots of bamboo, they are quite nutritious. The shoots of bamboo, they are quite nutritious and could provide for superfood for malnourished, many malnourished in India, especially this northeastern India, where this malnourishment, okay, where this IMR and MMR rate are very high, showing that the social indicators are poor. This superfood could be utilized for the purpose of providing adequate nutrition to the northeast, the citizens in northeast, right? Then this article talks about that the global market of bamboo is of around $1,700 million, while the India being the country with this highest area under this bamboo crop has not utilized the potential they have for this market. Right, India has very low consumption and that is too limited to this northeastern state. Otherwise, there is 3 million tons of bamboo shoot consumption across the world annually. You know, the bamboo is quite used in restaurants in China and even in Western countries, right? So India has a long way to go, and the main one of the remarkable success has been achieved by this country called Philippines. They have done a remarkable progress. The scientists here have developed the antimicrobial soaps, hand wash, detergents, and hand mist, and by the scientists in Philippines, and they are being used during to fight this novel coronavirus. Okay, so they have been cheaper. These cheaper soaps or the detergents have been developed by Philippine scientists, and they are being used to fight the novel coronavirus. Talking about India, India is having around 13.96 billion hectares area. 13.96 million hectare area under this bamboo crop, which is highest in the world, and we are second richest country in terms of diversity in bamboo. So government of India started this national bamboo mission, which is a centrally sponsored scheme. It started in 2006 and 7, and later in 2014-15 it was integrated or subsumed under this the horticulture mission, this mission for integrated development of horticulture in 2014-15 and 15-16. So now this World Bamboo Day is there on 18th September, and it shows India the path to develop its bamboo industry, because China's data from some international network for bamboo and rattan says that China export around 68% of the world's bamboo and rattan product are worth around $1,000 okay, $1,000 million. So this shows that India too has a very vast potential, and this could boom our northeastern economy also. They can have this export based economic arrangement with the help of this bamboo export. Okay, especially this bamboo rattan industry, which has grown to 28,000 crore in 2017. So India can also gain access in terms of livelihood, in terms of employment, in terms of proper remuneration. India can gain from the bamboo crop. Coming to the next topic, friend, which is about country of origin. So this one is important. This one is very important. The country of origin norms has been a bone of contention, especially in the multilateral free trade agreements. Like the India do not want to join RCP. The one reason is this country of origin norms. The country of origin norm, we will see what they are and what the government is doing. So in this topic, we are going to see that the importers in India, they are provided several duty offs, right? They are provided several concessions in custom duty. so that they can import cheaper and can sell it, especially from the countries India have FTA with, free trade agreement, especially from those countries where India have free trade agreements. But the problem arises, like now China will be a member of RCEP, or you can say China is having FTA with other country. That second country is having FTA with India. So China source their product here, then some importer from India imported this product to India. So now the problem arises that the product is coming from China with very low levy of duties, right? Because of this free trade agreement between the three countries in a different manner. So overall, the whole thing is that India want that the products that are coming from China, they must be levied with proper custom duties, and they should not be allowed the concessions being given to this second country, right? So this is the country of origin norm. If the product is originating in this China, it must not be seen to be originated in the second country, right? From where our importer is importing. So the whole thing is all about this the bill, the central government rules that central government has passed. In the rule the finance ministry has passed, the name is the Custom Administration of Rules of Origin under Trade Agreement Rules 2020 or Carotar 2020, which says that those importer who are not specifying the country of origin norm will not be able to gain the concessional rate of custom duty under free trade agreement. So what an importer in India is required now to give due diligence before importing goods, that he or she meets the proper this criteria of country of origin norm, right? So that a list of minimum information could be provided by him or her, which is required to possess, and has also been provided in the rule along with general guidance. The whole okay. So the thing is that if they can provide the proper information under this new rules, so that the country of origin norms are clear, the certification of origin is clear, then this importer can get the concession against under this FTA regime, right? Suppose India has this FTA regime with ASEAN countries. India has this FTA regime with ASEAN countries, and the major 5 exporters from ASEAN country to India are Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore and Vietnam. So the benefit of concessional custom duty rate applies only for ASEAN with which India have this FTA. So the goods should be originating from ASEAN countries only. For suppose and in case if China is having FTA with ASEAN, so the goods coming from China to ASEAN without custom duty, they should not then enter India without levy of custom duty. So no concession would be provided when the country of origin is a third country where India do not have any FTA, right? So the new rules allows or supports the importer to correctly ascertain the country of origin norms to claim the concessional duty, right? So that proper clearance could be there, legitimate imports could be taken. Recently in budget speech, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, she mentioned that India needs to protect their domestic industry, and for this misuse of free trade agreement should be prevented, and prevention could be done in the and this is one such manner for protecting our domestic industries, okay, to reduce the custom concessions for the countries importers importing from non-FTA countries, right? So this Carotar 2020 supplements this idea. Okay, India, if for your information, you might know that India has linked FTA with several countries, and some of them are Japan, South Korea and ASEAN. So these are the countries which India have free trade agreements, right? Okay, that's it for today, friend, and with this I would like to end my today's session, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I have contributed well to your knowledge. Thank you and have a nice day.